allegiance. The flag is by the door that you came in. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Conway, when you are ready, you may call the roll.
Mr. Berger?
Here.
Ms. Conway? Here. Mr. Corey?
Here.
Mr. Cronin? Excused. Mr. Euclideo? Excused. Mr. Kisco? Mr. Knight? Mr. Kalesha?
Here.
Mr. Putnam?
Here.
Ms. Saleo? Mayor Spino or representative? Dr. Baker? Ms. Ferguson? Ms. Labby?
Here.
Mr. Pergola?
Here.
Ms. Schulte?
Here.
Ms. Vians? And Mr. Wilson?
Here. Thank you. We have next the approval of the agenda. I would ask just for one amendment. So we would be looking at under information and action. So it would be 8H, new information and action. I'd like to add a new number 10 and bump the 10 and 11 and bump the others down. And it would be possible executive session to discuss an attorney-client privileged communication related to a legal analysis regarding the state's supplemental education aid and the Dracula accounts, and possible action for the next item related to the same. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, our agenda is adopted. We next have the school, community service, and public participation. I did see at least one sign up, so I'm going to read the paragraph. The board invites members of the community to speak on topics to be addressed in the agenda or on other topics of interest. Individuals wishing to make comments are requested to fill out the speaker sign-up sheet, including your name and address, which must be stated at the beginning of your comment. The board will not allow comments regarding specific staff members, parents, students, or personal grievances. Courtesy is expected in this limited public forum. The participating time will be limited to 3 minutes per person and 10 minutes overall. We first up have Sandy Mangan.
Good evening. My name is Sandy Mangan. I am the TEA president and have been a teacher in Torrington for 37 years. I'm here this evening to address the recent meeting regarding AI in the classroom. In my 37 years of teaching, I have seen the evolution of technology, the good, the bad, and the ugly. When I first started teaching, we didn't have computers. Yes, I am that old. Our communication systems were limited to the typewriter, asking a secretary to type something for you, the landline telephone, a handwritten note, and report cards handwritten in triplicate. At the time, we were excited to have whiteout in various colors to match the 3 colors of the report card. When computers entered the educational setting, my students were taught in a computer lab by a technology teacher. I didn't have the responsibility of keeping current with knowledge of technology. I've taught with shared carts that had computers that weren't always charged or available when needed. Do I want to go back to those methods? No. Did I need to learn and evolve? Yes. Was it easy and comfortable? No. Do we need to learn and evolve now with the technology that is changing daily? Yes. However, we need to evolve in a way that is thoughtful, well-planned, and implemented with input from all stakeholders, including students. More importantly, something that hasn't changed in the 37 years I've been an educator is the need to listen. We need to listen to the perspectives of the various stakeholders with an open mind. We can agree to disagree, but listening and collaborating will move us forward. On May 6th, I sat in this cafeteria and listened for 3 hours. The meeting topics ranged from AI to facility usage fees to computers in the classroom. Tonight, I'm choosing to focus on the AI information I heard. I heard the experts at the table, the teachers and administrators, share their knowledge of AI. I heard them speak to the concerns the board has expressed regarding AI. One of the statements that came through loud and clear from all sitting at the table was the need for guardrails and AI literacy. Those 2 components speak to the need for a policy. I heard those sitting at the table mention the wild, wild west. They all agreed that's not where we want to be. The way to avoid the wild, wild west is to work collaboratively to come up with protocols, systems, and policies that make everyone comfortable. If we choose to treat AI as a taboo subject, we are doing more harm than good. We need to take the time to do this the right way for our students, families, and educators. I heard the teachers and the admins speak about the importance of responsibility and ethics. I heard them state there needs to be an AI literacy component for students and adults. There was agreement that this should be taught. What is undecided is the who, how, and when. I heard the board members share their concerns regarding how staff and students utilize AI. We have all shared those same concerns at some point. I heard Mr. McDonald speak about how fast AI is evolving. We need to rely on our experts, educators, parents, and community members to try to stay as current as possible regarding AI. We can't expect our families to keep up with it. As educators, we have a responsibility to teach our students how to be informed and thoughtful consumers of AI. As a district, we need to offer professional learning opportunities to our staff. I heard Superintendent Wilson talk about AI platforms specifically designed for schools. I heard him state we need to choose a platform that is designed for schools. We need to be cautious consumers and do our homework. We know we are not the only school district working through how to incorporate AI with guardrails. What are the Connecticut State Department of Education and other districts doing when it comes to AI? The State Department has stated our goal is to provide districts with clear, practical guidance that supports intentional policy, sound governance, and strong safeguards, ensuring that both educators and students are protected and prepared to navigate the opportunities and disruptions that artificial intelligence may bring, said Chief Academic Officer Irene Parisi. By moving thoughtfully now, we position ourselves to respond effectively as new technologies enter the classroom. The State Department has developed AI guidance for districts statewide in partnership with the Commission for Educational Technology. In January 2025, the State Department announced 2 initiatives that would transform how students engage with technology in the classroom: the release of a comprehensive Model K-12 digital citizenship curriculum and the launch of an innovative artificial intelligence in education pilot program across 7 school districts. The pilot program ran from January to June and introduced state-approved AI tools into classroom instruction in 7 districts. The program provided hands-on experiences with tools such as CK12 Foundation, Cloud Navigator, Magic School AI, and Snorkel. Educators received professional development to maximize the tool's benefits and assess their impact on teaching and learning. I heard Mrs. Ciccarelli share information about Common Sense Education, the K-12 digital citizenship curriculum that was adopted by the State Department as its statewide model. It has focus areas, cross-curricular integration, standards alignment, and student well-being, which I think is key. The program helps cultivate healthy digital habits, impulse control, and empathy in online spaces. I heard OTL speak about the portrait of graduate competencies our students need to succeed in both the classroom and in life. And I think we all agree those skills are essential. At the same time, we need to acknowledge these competencies need to be embedded in all we teach, including AI. I've done some research regarding AI policies. There are policies that we might want to use to implement guidelines and draft a policy. I'm sharing via email policies from Stratford, New Haven, Connecticut Tech Schools, and CAPE. I have printed copies to share with you too. These may be policies and documents you already have in your resource portfolio, but not having heard them mentioned or referenced previously, I chose to share them. There is also a link to the State of Connecticut initiative page regarding AI. These documents could be utilized as we navigate our way through this process. I think what is important to note in the New Haven and Stratford policies is they included a link to their portrait of a graduate document as part of their policy. The competencies of the portrait of the graduate are not meant to be taught in isolation. They are embedded in our curriculum and instruction. They are critical when it comes to using AI. AI can be scary, but what's even scarier is not addressing it in a way that educates children and adults about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mangan. As a general rule, I try not to be a jerk and set a timer, but we do have lots of speakers, so I just ask everybody to please keep it to 3 minutes or as close as you can. We next have Carly Goodwin.
Speed talk. Good evening. My name is Carly Goodwin, and I'm a parent in this district. What I see as a nurse happening to not only our community, but in our nation as a whole, is scary and deeply concerning. People are getting very sick at a much younger age. For a lot of us, the damage is already done, but we still hold a lot of power with what we teach and how we raise the future generations. How many times have we said to ourselves, I wish I knew then what I knew now? With the advanced knowledge and research that we have today, we need to start putting it into practice. Tonight, I have with me my proposal on a classroom to cafeteria learning model initiative. Proper nutrition is our most vital tool for preventing chronic illnesses and supporting our immune functions. Along with that, it directly correlates with academic performance and reduces disruptive classroom behaviors. This proposal is not about adding more, but simplifying with intention. It's about eliminating the sugary fruit juices and processed foods and serving only what is truly beneficial for the child's overall health. In it, you'll find examples of simple whole food menu items, all formulated off the USDA Foods Availability List with no extra cost out of the budget. In fact, it would all be reimbursed with our current federal funding. Now, I've already anticipated the response that kids won't eat this, but what I argue is that kids don't have the knowledge as to why they should. So this brings me to my next part, which is incorporating nutritional education into the curriculum we already have in place. I asked my son the other day what he learned in mystery science, and the lessons he remembered were how many frogs are in the world and a scenario of pairing two types of pigeons to see what kind that would make. Now, I am basing this response off an 8-year-old, so it might not be entirely true. However, it did show me that there are some areas we can substitute. While there are fun facts, this type of education in science doesn't much benefit moving forward in their future. I have listed a few examples of how we can start to introduce nutritional education to each grade level, from talking about things like antioxidants and relating them to the superheroes of the body, or highlighting the habits of people they look up to. If you were to ask any boy today that plays soccer who they idolize, they will quickly name off Messi, Pulisic, or Ronaldo. And if we can tap into a child's interest and start to show them that these icons don't just become the greatest by what they do in the gym or on the field, but show them how they fuel their body, they will naturally want to be just like them. And I guarantee no athlete becomes a champion on cinnamon rolls and Bosco sticks. For our older students, we can start to look at real-life aspects on how to nourish themselves properly after graduation as they start to live on their own. Another aspect of this proposal expands on the vegetable of the month. I believe it was April's menu that showcased eggplant. However, there was no eggplant on the menu as an option. Kids aren't going to make any type of connection unless we offer continued exposure. So let's take that vegetable and provide it throughout the month in various forms of preparation. Some kids might claim they hate broccoli, but have only ever tried it one way. By showing kids the many different flavors and ways that it can be prepared, opens a whole new aspect to their understanding. We can include incentives like highest class participation, earning extra recess, or field trips to the cafeteria, where they see a whole other side to their school and how their food is being prepared. There are many ways that we can start connecting the classroom to the lunchroom and create a whole new learning experience. This proposal only showcases a few of the ideas I have, so I would love the opportunity to sit down and discuss it in greater detail. I am fully prepared to hear the many reasons why this won't work, but as a parent looking in, I have seen this town be redistricted twice, witnessed a multi-million-dollar school be built, and a whole new FAST academy be established. So I do know that when this district wants something, they can make it happen. I am here to help discuss the many reasons why we should and how we can accomplish this. I will end by sharing that my concerns are not isolated to just Torrington, and I feel very strongly that this is a model that needs to be adopted by all districts. So I have already begun to bring this to our state leaders. But my hope is that Torrington jumps on board first, and our community is the one who gets credit for starting this wave of change. All it takes is one school to recognize the power of prevention to create a healthier future for these kids. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. And you can leave those with the board's clerk so that she can see that board members receive them if that's, or, okay. Okay. Thank you. We next have Mr. Jason Lafreniere.
Good evening, Jason Lafreniere, Torrington Middle School special education teacher. I would first like to thank the Board of Ed for continuing to support opportunities that allow students to learn beyond the classroom through enriching educational experiences. On April 29th, I had the pleasure of leading 36 eighth grade students and 4 chaperones to New York City to see Hamilton on Broadway. Students were flexible and Students were flexible and appreciated the irony in an unexpected schedule change due to the King and Queen of England visiting the 9/11 Memorial, our original lunch location. The trip was a tremendous success, with students instead enjoying lunch at the Bryant Park before attending the show. The performance provided students with meaningful connections to the U.S. history curriculum, and many were excited to discuss their favorite characters and moments from the production. For several students, this was their first trip to New York City, and for most, their first Broadway experience. Student behavior throughout the day was exceptional, and they represented themselves, their families, and Torrington Middle School with pride. During the same time period, approximately 120 students traveled to our nation's capital for the 2026 Washington, D.C. trip. The group was met with perfect weather and amazing opportunities to explore, learn, ask questions, and make connections to the curriculum they learned in the classroom. To provide an update on the upcoming enrichment opportunities, there are currently 39 students registered to see The Outsiders in January of next year on Broadway, and nearly 42 students have already signed up for next year's Washington, D.C. trip. I would also like to respectfully ask the board to remain mindful of conducting business in a manner that is transparent and cannot be construed as unethical. When statements are made suggesting that discussions or decisions regarding policy and other board matters are occurring, quote unquote, behind the scenes, it can create concern among staff and the public, particularly when those matters are intended to be discussed in open session or properly announced executive sessions. I also ask the board to continue valuing the expertise of the faculty and staff members who come before you to share their professional knowledge and firsthand experience. As district employees, we are responsible for implementing the directives and policies established by the board. Because of that responsibility, we understand the practical realities of how decisions impact classroom students and compliance with state and federal mandates. Our staff works hard to balance student health and well-being while also ensuring students are prepared for a world increasingly shaped by technology and digital literacy. At the same time, we by no means believe that all instruction to rely on or integrate technology, and we fully understand the concerns surrounding excessive screen time and over-reliance on devices in education. The goal is balance. Using technology purposefully and appropriately while still maintaining effective instructional practices that support student engagement, learning, and development. Open communication, transparency, and collaboration between the board and district staff and the community are essential to making informed decisions that best serve our students and community. Thank you.
Thank you. We next have Aaron Sullivan.
Everyone. I'm speaking tonight as a teacher of Torrington High School. My name is Erin Sullivan. I'm the English department head. I am also a union vice president and an educator with 26 years of experience teaching students at every academic level from 9 to 12. I would like to address the ongoing conversations regarding the use of one-to-one devices in Torrington Public Schools. I will begin by saying I do not think that the board is wrong to examine concerns surrounding screen time and technology use in the classroom. Those are legitimate concerns. However, I do believe that the push towards policy is hasty and requires more conversation and examination. To get metaphorical, I'm an English teacher, this is an issue that requires a scalpel as opposed to a sledgehammer. What concerns me is that much of the current rhetoric being used to push the policy change on one-to-one devices is being driven by logical fallacies, fear-mongering, and the assumption that correlation equals causation. Hasty generalizations are increasingly being spoken as fact and are now driving calls for sweeping policy changes that could have major academic, budgetary, logistical, and equity concerns for our students. At this point, there has not been sufficient stakeholder input. Before considering major changes, I urge the board to hold detailed public forums with parents, students, teachers, counselors, support staff, and administrators.
We need honest conversations in public about both the benefits and drawbacks of technology use in our classrooms, and we need to fully understand how proposed changes would impact instruction, access, student opportunity, and teacher working conditions at every level. This is a nuanced issue that deserves thoughtful, deliberate discussion rather than reactionary policymaking driven by national rhetoric or isolated examples from other districts. Torrington must make decisions based on Torrington students, Torrington's teachers, and Torrington's realities. At the high school level especially, the equity implications are enormous. Our students apply to college online. They complete FAFSA forms online. They access AP Classroom online. University of Connecticut ECE students must access university systems, libraries, evaluations, and coursework online. Many of our students do not have reliable computer access at home outside of what the district provides. Our achievement gaps in Connecticut already fall heavily along socioeconomic lines. Limiting access to the very tools students need to apply to college and complete financial aid paperwork, college-level coursework, and build digital literacy skills risks widening those gaps even further. Many have suggested that students can simply stay after school or go to the library, but unfortunately this is not a reality in many of our teenagers' lives. Many work jobs after school, care for siblings, or lack transportation. Some already struggle with attendance, housing instability, and family responsibilities that make extended after-school access unrealistic. Access to a device at night is often the difference between successes and falling behind. And while I would never claim that technology alone has caused our academic gains, it is important to recognize what has happened during the years that we have had one-to-one access at THS. In the past 4 years alone, our SAT and AP scores have made consistent gains. Our chronic absenteeism has gone down and our graduation rate has gone up. I would not claim that these facts were directly caused by access to one-to-one devices, but in academics, data shows that we have not been hindered by that access either. Since implementing one-to-one devices, we have expanded access to advanced placement courses. We have expanded access to UConn ECE courses. Our students have earned AP scores that exceeded both Connecticut and national averages in multiple subjects. Students who previously struggled with chronic absenteeism have been able to stay connected academically and access college-level opportunities that change the trajectory of their futures. One such student was recognized here at the board in the fall. One of our alumni recently graduated from the University of Connecticut after attending for only 1 year because he left Torrington High School with over 100 college credits, earned through programs that depended heavily on access to technology. That opportunity saved his family tens of thousands of dollars. These stories matter. I am not opposed to change, but I think it's important to recognize that concerns about screen time and instructional balance can be addressed through classroom practice and instructional leadership, not necessarily through sweeping policy changes. We already have systems in place to address these concerns. We have a great Office of Teaching and Learning. We have professional development structures. We have evaluation frameworks developed with stakeholder input. If adjustments need to be made regarding screen balance, developmental appropriateness, or instructional delivery, then those are conversations about pedagogy and practice. Those conversations can happen thoughtfully, collaboratively, and with nuance. By eliminating one-to-one access is an entirely different conversation with major academic, logistical, financial, and equity consequences, especially at the high school level. I urge the board to proceed cautiously, deliberately, and collaboratively before making decisions that could fundamentally alter opportunities for our students. Thank you.
Thank you. We next have Nevaeh Long.
Hello, my name is Nevaeh Long, and I'm a junior at Torrington High School. I'm actively involved in my community through volunteering, sports, and many other engaging activities that the school offers. I am disheartened to hear that the school plans to take away the privilege to have one-on-one classes the 2027 school year and the school years after that. I believe that with the age and development of our society, learning technical skills is imperative to land a job and integrate into society. Not only this, but technology allows flexibility and cooperation regarding group projects. Without personal laptops provided to the school, ensuring students are able to properly communicate on projects is eliminated. Assuming that students have the financial resources to have their own laptops and or computers at home would be singling out these students. Having this resource provided to the school aids students not just in work, but in personal affairs. I have taken classes, specifically Intro to Business, that teaches students how to create a resume. The resume that I have made in that class is the same resume I use to apply to jobs. With the school computer, I was able to take the initiative into an important step in my life and gain experience needed to navigate my way through society. This does not only apply to resumes. It could apply to a multitude of situations that require an at-home computer. something that is a luxury to many. In my years at school, I have seen students take the initiative and use their creative freedom using the school-provided laptop, and in my eye, school is a breeding ground for creativity, opportunity, and growth. I believe that without computers, student engagement may go down from where it is now. Teachers may use class time as a way to study using community-building websites such as Blooket or Kahoot, websites not foreign to the students of all grade levels and locations. This makes classroom fun, turning studying into a game that everyone wishes to participate in. Without situations like these, students may find the classroom dreary when school should be full of life. I also believe that without personal laptops being provided, negative interactions between students may climb to an all-time high within the high school and middle school community. When students feel a lack of fun, stimulation, or engagement, they may be driven to seek out drama or excitement within their school day themselves. In doing so, students may resort to targeting peers, starting chaos amongst themselves or the classroom for some sort of reprieve from their lack of stimulation in the classroom. To allow students to unlock their full potential, stimulating their brains by creating lessons where students can feel fully engaged are the most optimal. Making laptops a resource used little to no time may be harder on the students as well. With thousands of papers to take home each day, students will either have to throw out old assignments that could have been used to review their assignments to make more space for new papers. And many students may not have the funds to buy folders for the sheer amount of papers being used in classrooms, with traditional handwriting being more used. In my rigorous courses, my teachers see the value in using computers for assignments. It is easier for the teacher to grade and easier for students to communicate with partners, thus allowing everyone to reach the pinnacle of their workflow. Teachers can grade and give out assignments easier. Students can communicate and complete assignments away from home. I've been talking to my peers, the students at Torrington High School, about this topic, and over 160 students have signed a petition to keep the one-on-one device policy. I hope that you can listen to the students and see how devices can breed creative freedom, opportunity, and a better environment for our student body. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that's done with the list, or anyone else in the room who cares to address the board? Okay. Then, wait. Oh, please, I'm sorry.
My doc. Okay. Hi. So my name is Jocelyn Wachowski, and I'm a junior at Torrington High School. I understand that there is an issue about computers in the continuation with the usage of computers in this school, and I wanted to just explain how the technology that was utilized and that was brought into the school via the school computers has benefited me. First of all, I found that it's given me extreme access to a multitude of different resources. So like when I'm researching, I don't have to make passes to go to the library to take out books or certain projects I'm doing, because I feel like it would waste more time. I can just sit in my seat and I can go onto my school computer, search up anything that I need to access, like different sources from colleges that were written, different sources from like basically anything I can find, any information I need is just on the internet. And I think that is extremely helpful in many different ways, because if you go to the library at times, they don't have all the books that you need in the school libraries to get certain information. Like there are certain books they have like topics on. Like if it's one very specific topic, like I can just go online, search it, guarantee you it's gonna be there. Second of all, a technology I found as a student is extremely important and extremely valuable when it comes to communication with teachers, with peers, with anyone. And I am able to talk to people in order to get information I need so extremely fast. It impresses me because I have teachers who are able to answer me so fast, where it's like if I get a pass and just walk up there, it's gonna take up more time. So like example, like I've had to email teachers from my house because I forgot to ask them something in school. I don't have access to another computer at home other than my school computer. So with my school computer, I found that it's very effective because I could just email them whenever I want and they'll answer me like sometimes in like 2 seconds. Like my teachers are so fast. And I think that is really helpful because if you forget something in school, you can just ask them at home and they'll just get back to you. You can get things done faster. Organization is also very important, I found, when using a school computer. I have many different folders for all my different subjects. I do find that a lot of the time I get lazy and I just fold the paper that I am that my teacher has given to me and stuff it in my backpack and save it for later. That's not good because now I can't find. But there is something called Google Docs on the computer, Google Sheets, all those different things where you can store information that you learn, and it saves it automatically. So what I can do is I can go into my computer, my school computer, and I can type in what I titled the Google Doc in order to get that information as fast as I can. And because of I have so many more reasons on my phone, but I just wanted to elaborate on those three because I feel like they're the most important to me. And they have helped me so much, and they're things that I didn't get to. I'm not saying get rid of paper completely. Paper is completely helpful. I think that there should be a complete disregard of the computers because I have found in my entire and middle school career that they are very beneficial to me and a multitude of other students in this school for the exact same reasons. Thank you.
Thank you. Last call. Anyone else who would care to address the board? Okay. In that case, we will move on to recognitions. Pass to the superintendent.
Good evening. We have a bunch of recognitions tonight, which is always a highlight. We're going to start with our student recognitions, and then we have some amazing staff that we're going to recognize tonight under the recognitions. But to start and to kick off for our student recognitions, Principal Galullo.
Hi. This is Wallace. We're here tonight, Mrs. Austin and I, to recognize Wallace where?
Can I speak on it?
Say hi.
Hi. It's 6-7.
So this is Wallace. It's an absolute privilege to recognize Wallace for the tremendous dedication, resilience, and growth he has demonstrated throughout this school year. Wallace has made profound strides socially, emotionally, and academically. At the beginning of the year and in previous years, personal challenge have often made it difficult for Wallace to be fully available for learning. His teachers, Mrs. Deloy and Mrs. Ebner-Bushy, helped Wallace learn ways to manage his emotions and his day-to-day needs while still maintaining very high expectations for his performance. Today, he arrives ready to take on the day, working hard to gain new skills every single day. He's engaged in his learning and a positive peer. Wallace is kind of like the mayor at Torrington. Everyone knows his name, and he brightens our day each time we see him. We are so proud of Wallace.
Let's go take a picture.
Principal Michelson. I love that. I love that.
That's a tough act to follow. Sapphire, do you want to say hi in the mic? I didn't think she would. This is Sapphire, and it's my honor to recognize Sapphire as our Superintendent Award winner for this month. This is given to a student who represents the very best of our school community. Sapphire is certainly deserving of that recognition. She's a kind student, a loyal friend, hardworking young lady, brings a quiet strength to Southwest each day. She tends, as you can tell, to be a quieter student, but when she does speak up, she has something to say. You should listen because she's thoughtful, she has important things to say, and they are meaningful. She reminds us that leadership doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes leadership is shown through kindness, effort, responsibility, and the way we treat others. This year, I've been especially proud of the growth that Sapphire has made. She's worked hard, shown perseverance, continued to become more confident in herself, and that growth is something worth celebrating. One of the many reasons we're so proud of her tonight. Sapphire, you have so much to be proud of. You have what it takes to be anything you want to be. You're a kind nature, strong character, hard work will lead you to great things, and I can't wait to hear about them as you grow up. Congratulations, we're very proud of you.
Assistant Principal Morton.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Gwyneth Isaacson, and I'm a special education pre-K teacher at Vogel-Wetmore School. And it is with great pleasure that I recognize Winter Rodriguez for being an exceptional student and a wonderful role model among her peers. Winter consistently demonstrates kindness, honesty, and integrity in all that she does. She approaches academic tasks with perseverance and determination, always striving to do her best and showing a positive attitude toward learning. Her enthusiasm and willingness to participate in both whole group and small group activities make her an engaged and valued member of the classroom community. In addition to her academic efforts, Winter is a caring and supportive friend to others. She treats classmates and teachers with respect, compassion, and empathy, helping to create a warm and welcoming environment for everyone around her. Winter is genuinely a wonderful person whose character and actions reflect the very best qualities we hope to encourage in young students. We are incredibly proud of her accomplishments and grateful for the positivity she brings to our school community every day. You want to say hi? You want to wave? Want to give a big picture?
Principal Klein.
Good evening, and thank the board for allowing me the opportunity to come up and recognize many of our students. At the intermediate school, we've been doing some wonderful things, highlighted by the fact that so far, with about 75% of our state test scores in, we've got 34 perfect scores already on file. But tonight, we are here to honor some of our kids that have been shining up at the top of some of our competitions. So I'm going to call up a few of our wonderful students as we go through. Our spelling bee winners, we had Gabriel Zeffi, Nora Kovacs and Journey Johnson. One of our math Olympiad winners was also Gabrielle Zeffi as well. Coming in fourth place at a state level for the individual exhibit on Salem witch trials was Anaya Zakaiewicz. Fourth place for the group performance, which was on the Connecticut witch trials, included Max St. Germain, Nora Kovacs, Alex Grant, Tegan Domain, and this group also won the outstanding entry in the Connecticut history as well. Last but certainly not least, we had 3 winners at the Invention Convention up at UConn. One was Dexter Miller for his DV Tech application. The other 2 were Jackson Hurd and Jonas Layton for their G Shields invention. Very proud of all of them. Thank you.
Principal Scott, I think, exited. Assistant Principal Marchand? He's coming in hot.
Yep. Okay. Start?
Yep.
Good evening, members of the Board of Education. My name is Caitlin Riggs, and I am the advisor of our high school's chapter of Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, more commonly known as FCCLA. FCCLA is a national student leadership organization connected to family and consumer sciences education. It focuses on helping students to develop leadership skills, career readiness, communication abilities, community involvement, and real-world problem-solving skills. Through FCCLA, students are able to take the knowledge that they learn in the classroom and in our club and apply it in meaningful and impactful ways. At our high school, FCCLA provides students with opportunities that extend far beyond academics. Students participate in leadership development, public speaking, teamwork, service projects, career exploration, and competitive events that prepare them for both college and future careers. Many of our students gain confidence, professionalism, and leadership abilities through experiences they may not otherwise have access to. This year, I'm happy to share our students have worked incredibly hard and have earned second place at the state competition for their Public Policy Star event. This has led to the opportunity to represent our school and community at the national FCCLA competition this July in Washington, D.C. The 3 students that participated in this event, you want to introduce them? We have, step forward.
Angelina Penaranda.
Evelyn Oriana.
Amy Katimbo.
I just want to give them a round of applause. This is a major accomplishment. Competing at the national level is a tremendous honor and reflects their dedication, preparation, and talent of our students. Attending nationals allows these students to compete against top programs from across the country, network with peers and professionals, and also participate in leadership workshops that inspire future success. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
While Mr. Wilson finishes that, I'll read the rest of our student recognitions. I don't see our students here. They might be at our track meet, the track meet that's going on right now. So Torrington High School would like to recognize the following students as recipients of the HOSA Awards at the annual HOSA State Conference. And that's Cheyenne Chen, winner of the HOSA Pin Contest. Her pin was selected as the official pin for the state of Connecticut. And Olivia Trigonis, third in medical and ethics, qualified for the International Leadership Conference. And additionally, tonight, Torrington High School would like to recognize Gavin Slavinsky, 10th grader in Yukon ECE Earth 1051, for his very strong efforts in maintaining high scores and proactively engaging in class and independent work that enriches his classroom discussions. Very good.
Stay close.
Yep.
I'm going to grab my other sheet.
Okay. Congratulations to all of our students. The recognition is well-deserved. Switching gears a little bit, we instituted the Golden Apple Award several years ago, and the Golden Apple Award is a way to recognize any member of Team Torrington that goes above and beyond. And we know we have our Teacher of the Year and our Para of the Year and other awards that we do give throughout the year, but the Golden Apple has been really special, and our principals have really taken a liking to it in terms of really having open and honest conversations about who embodies what it means to be Team Torrington. So tonight, we are very, very happy to have our Golden Apple Award winners here, and I'm going to call up Principal Scott to start with the high school.
Hello again. It is my honor to present this year's Golden Apple Award winner for Torrington High School, Angel Norridge. Angel represents the very best of what it means to be an educator through her passion for teaching, commitment to students, and dedication to expanding opportunities beyond the classroom. Angel teaches several of our most rigorous early college opportunity courses, challenging students to achieve at their highest academic levels while supporting them every step of the way. Her impact reaches far beyond academics. She organized our educational trip to Belize for our students and is currently leading preparations for an upcoming trip to Japan, providing students with unforgettable global learning experiences that broaden their perspectives and inspire curiosity about the world. In addition, Angel played a key role in helping organize and launch our National Science Honor Society, creating yet another avenue for students to pursue excellence and leadership in the sciences. While these accomplishments are impressive, what speaks most clearly to Angel's impact is the voice of our students. Year after year in student focus group and feedback sessions, Angel is identified as the teacher who most exemplifies excellence in teaching. Students consistently describe her as engaging, supportive, inspiring, and deeply committed to their success both inside and outside of the classroom. The Golden Apple Award recognizes educators who make a lasting difference through their dedication, innovation, and unwavering beliefs in students. Angel embodies all of those qualities, and we are incredibly fortunate to have her part of Torrington High School. Please join me in congratulating Angel on this well-deserved recognition. Yep. Unfortunately, Dr. Torres couldn't be with us tonight, so I will be also reading the announcement for the Golden Apple recipient for the FAST Academy. It is my honor to present the FAST Academy Golden Apple Award to Michelle Boulette. As the teacher and community liaison of the Torrington Transition Academy, Michelle truly exemplifies what this award represents. Through her dedication, compassion, and vision, she has built the Torrington Transition Academy into a program that creates meaningful post-secondary opportunities for students right here in their community. Michelle consistently goes above and beyond by collaborating with local organizations and businesses to provide valuable vocational experiences for her students. Her work is centered around one important goal: helping students gain the skills, confidence, and independence needed to thrive in the Torrington community. The Golden Apple Award recognizes those who inspire others through their actions and unwavering commitment to students in the community. Michelle embodies all of those qualities, and we are incredibly fortunate to have her as part of Team Torrington. Please join me in congratulating Michelle on this well-deserved recognition.
You know the order already. I love it.
Good evening, everyone. Thrilled to be here tonight to recognize a teacher who has not only helped us to make this tremendous transition this year into this new building and start to set the foundation for what teaching looks like in the classroom, but is also a leader in amongst his peers and really helped tie us to the traditions of what makes Torrington Middle School Torrington Middle School. Mr. Jason Beckett not only is the department coordinator and has been a voice in our coordinators' meetings of honest feedback, open dialogue, and always with an eye on growth and putting our students first, and is a leader with his colleagues, but also for the first time this year said, hey, we're going to change everything. I might as well take on the Washington, D.C. trip too and figure that out. So he led us in Washington, D.C., and having had that experience with him, there is such a tremendous amount of work, day to day, minute to minute, that goes into making that trip a success. And I just wanted to make sure that I took the opportunity to recognize him with this Golden Apple Award for his commitment in the classroom, in the larger school with his colleagues, and then most importantly amongst the students. So this year's Torrington Middle School Golden Apple Award winner, Mr. Jason Beckett.
Thank you. Tonight, we are proud to recognize someone whose dedication, professionalism, and tireless work ethic has made an incredible impact on our school community this year at the intermediate school. This would be Dean Barth, our head custodian. The school year brought unique challenges with constant transitions of classroom material and entire learning spaces as we reorganized the entire district. Throughout the year, Dean consistently went above and beyond to ensure that students, staff, had a safe, welcoming, and immaculate environment each and every day. His attention to detail, leadership, and willingness to do whatever is needed and done helped keep our school running smoothly during one of the most demanding years we've ever experienced. Dean's pride in his work is evident every day in every hallway, every classroom, and every shared space at the intermediate school. Most importantly, his positivity, dependability, and commitment to our school's community make him a truly deserving recipient of this year's Golden Apple Award. Congratulations, Dean.
Torringford? Torringford, yep.
Six, seven, no, just kidding. It is an honor to present this year's Golden Apple Award to our phenomenal new in-house, not subcontracted, physical therapist, Mr. Larry Gross. From his very first day, Mr. Gross fit right into the family at Torringford. He's not just mine, he's district-wide, but we have several students in our building that he services, so he's with us quite a bit. It feels like he's always been here, quickly establishing deep, meaningful relationships with our students, families, and staff. Larry consistently goes above and beyond to ensure that our students are making progress and that the parents are true empowered partners in their child's learning. He has a gift for translating complex clinical information into comprehensive parent-friendly updates and treatment plans by providing practical, accessible supports that families can easily use at home. He bridges the gap between student school and daily life. You'll often see Larry in the halls walking with students or helping a student ride a bike or navigate the stairs. The kids love seeing him so much, he became a Possum Award that students could earn, and they entered to earn fun sensory breaks with Mr. Gross. While examples of his dedication are plenty, one standout moment perfectly captures his character and level of care. When a critical wheelchair issue left a student unable to ride the bus, Larry, alongside our previous Golden Apple winner, Sarah Murphy, went directly to the student's home to support the family. Not stopping there, he personally called multiple providers and coordinated a face-to-face meeting at the school with the provider and the family, seamlessly guiding them through the complex multi-step process of securing a brand new wheelchair. Larry's extraordinary level of care, advocating spirit, and clinical expertise have been a tremendous addition to the Torringford team.
Southwest. I'll second Mr. Gross Motor, I like to call him, our PT guy, because he knows how to handle it. He comes and visits us at Southwest too and does a great job, so congratulations, Larry. Tonight, though, it is my honor from Southwest School to recognize our Golden Apple Award winner, Christine Williams. Christine is truly a paraeducator extraordinaire. Like so many of our outstanding paraeducators, she is often asked to take on challenging situations. She meets those challenges head-on with patience, skill, and heart. She is not only someone who follows the lead of her supervisors with professionalism and care, she's also a deeply respected member of our team. When she's given a task, she doesn't simply meet expectations, she often finds ways to improve on them. One of the times I see her the most is at the end of the day during dismissal. For our youngest students, dismissal can be a hard part of the day. The hallways are busy, the gym is loud, they're getting ready to go home, they're carrying all sorts of things, and for some that can be overwhelming. She noticed this need and she took action. Sometimes we give her kids to take, but she also finds those that need a little quiet space. But she gives them more than a quiet space. Over time, she learned which students need that support, and she helped them feel calm and successful, and she put together activities, pairs students together thoughtfully, including her own children, which she puts right to work, her own son that is, and keeps them engaged while they wait. It might seem like one small part of the school day, but it's a powerful example of the way Christine makes our whole school a better place. And of course, this is only one example. Her day-to-day work with students is exemplary. She brings kindness, dependability, creativity, and compassion to everything she does. Christine, I'm so happy that we've had the chance to work together this year. Count myself lucky to have you at Southwest School and in Torrington Schools. Congratulations on this well-deserved Golden Apple Award.
Larry, I could give a plug for Vogel Wetmore too. We adore you. It is truly an honor to recognize Chelsea Palmer as this year's Golden Apple recipient for Vogel Wetmore. Chelsea consistently goes above and beyond in her role as a paraprofessional and makes a lasting impact on everyone around her, students, staff, and families alike. Chelsea has an incredible ability to see what needs to be done and step in without ever being asked. Whether she is supporting students through academic challenges, helping them navigate emotional moments, assisting staff members, or volunteering her time at events, school events outside of our regular hours, she does it all with kindness, positivity, and genuine care. Her calm presence, unwavering support, and positive attitude help create an environment where students feel safe, supported, and encouraged every day. She is a true team player whose encouragement, thoughtful approach, and willingness to help whenever needed positively impact both students and colleagues. Chelsea embodies everything the Golden Apple Award represents. Our school community is stronger, brighter, and better because of her, and we are incredibly fortunate to have her on our Vogel Wetmore team. Congratulations, Chelsea.
Okay, congratulations to all. And we will next hear from our student representatives. Do we still have them with us this evening? We do, okay.
Good evening. My name is Jack Riley.
And my name is Juan Batista.
And we will be your student presenters tonight. Here are the highlights from Torrington High School over the past month.
This spring break, a group of Torrington High School seniors traveled to Italy and Greece on an unforgettable educational tour. Students explored historic landmarks, including the Colosseum, Vatican City, Delphi, Meteora, and the Acropolis, while connecting classroom learning to real-world experiences in history, literature, mythology, and art. Throughout the trip, students represented THS with maturity, curiosity, and pride.
Students in the THS culinary program partnered with Marzano's Pizza on a real-world culinary project. Students created and refined an original recipe called the Taj Mahal Butter Chicken Pizza, which earned the highest judging score among participating classes and is now featured as the restaurant's special in May. The experience provided students with valuable industry experience in creativity, teamwork, and culinary production.
THS biotechnology students recently participated in a 5-week NASA-funded research partnership with Northwestern Connecticut Community College. Students worked alongside professors studying antibiotic-resistant bacteria in anti-gravity environments while developing laboratory and analytical skills connected to careers in biotechnology and science.
Students in Ms. Brewer's UConn EC Intro to Allied Health classes recently completed a hands-on prosthetics and orthotics simulation project. Working through patient scenarios, students designed and created prosthetic and orthotic devices while applying healthcare concepts, problem-solving, and collaboration skills in a real-world setting.
Raider Rally returns this spring for its 8th annual Creating Community charity event. Since 2013, Raider Rally has raised more than $80,000 for local organizations while promoting leadership and service among students. This year's event will once again support several local charities through student-led fundraising and community partnerships.
The THS JROTC program earned an impressive second-place overall finish at the Connecticut National Guard JROTC physical training competition, with the female team capturing first place in their division. Cadets demonstrated teamwork, perseverance, and athleticism through a variety of physically demanding events.
Students in meteorology classes at THS are preparing to study severe weather events with support from THS graduate and AccuWeather meteorologist Tyler Royce. Students will research weather phenomena, hear from a professional meteorologist, and connect classroom learning to real-world forecasting and weather science.
THS seniors recently participated in the annual Choice Matters and Mock Crash programs ahead of prom and graduation season. These impactful experiences, supported by local first responders and community organizations, reinforce the importance of safe and responsible decision-making related to impaired and distracted driving.
Torrington High School is currently leading the Friendly Hands Food Bank Ramen Challenge after students and staff donated more than 3,500 packets of ramen noodles to support local families in need. The effort highlighted the generosity, school spirit, and community pride of the Raider community.
Torrington Public Schools Theater Arts delivered a fantastic production of The Music Man featuring more than 60 students in grades 7 through 12. The performances showcased outstanding acting, music, choreography, technical work, and student leadership, while highlighting the dedication and talent of students across the district.
THS students in the Applied STEM program will soon showcase their handmade electric guitars in the community expedition titled The Art of the Guitar. At a Mano Gallery, students designed and built fully playable guitars while combining engineering, woodworking, creativity, and artistic expression in this unique interdisciplinary project.
This season marked an exciting milestone for THS tennis as both the boys and girls teams began competing and practicing on the school's brand new home tennis courts. Coaches and student athletes shared how the new facility has strengthened team culture, skill development, and school pride.
Seniors celebrated Prom 2026 at the Grand Oak Villa with this year's theme, The Golden Hour. Students enjoyed an evening filled with music, dancing, and celebration as they shared one of the final major milestones of their high school experience together.
Finally, the THS Air Force JROTC program held its change of command ceremony on the Torrington High School football field. During the ceremony, Cadet Chase Elliott officially passed leadership of the Cadet Corps to Cadet Israel Chow Kelly, symbolizing the continued tradition of leadership, service, and excellence within the program.
Overall, it has been an exciting and successful month at THS, and we look forward to continuing this momentum as we head into the final few weeks of the school year.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Just one last quick note. Both of these gentlemen were a little too shy to tell you, but they both have guitars that will be featured in the art show. So if you're available on Friday evening, stop on by and you get to see both their guitars.
Thank you. Thank you. And if you could have maybe the details for that just sent to the board so that folks can have it. And I will just say, I would consider it an honor and a privilege to judge the pizza competition moving forward. And with that, I will pass it to the superintendent for his report. And I have to step away, so Mr. Berger will have the chair temporarily.
Okay. Thank you. Congratulations again to all of our student recognees this evening, as well as our Golden Apple Award winners. It was a tremendous honor for those students and faculty members and team members to be recognized this evening. All of our team members, as well as the Board of Education, received a small token of our appreciation for Staff Appreciation Month. The board members received theirs this evening. I think everyone did appreciate that, and everyone is truly a part of our team. Earlier this month, our LCSA award winners for our superintendent awards, Assistant Superintendent Ferguson filled in for me, and Violet Lianos, Aiden Nelson, Ayana Diggs, Ariel Marriott, Musifta Anawara, Animata Barry, Kajita Fraser, and Miley Uloa were the students that were recognized at our LCSA award. Mr. Pergola and I had an enjoyable and wonderful time playing basketball up at Torringford. You heard Principal Gululo mention Possum, and the students up there put their tickets in to win a chance to play basketball with us. The students did a wonderful job. Mr. Pergola and I had a great time. The students did win, if the board is curious, and that's because Mr. Pergola is not the best basketball player, as we know. But it's okay that our students were able to take us down, and we had a real great time playing with the rest of the students that didn't win their possum, but we stood out there a little longer, and Principal Galullo was able to give them a couple extra minutes at lunch recess so that we can play with them. So that was a wonderful day. The Music Man, as our student representatives had mentioned, was a wonderful production, which I attended on Saturday. I think that song is still stuck in my head. What is it, 76 trombones? There you go. I think I knew it, but it was a great, great time. Smarter Balanced Assessments started and are coming to a close. We are confident that all of our students were well prepared and are well prepared and will continue to show a tremendous amount of growth. And I think Principal Klein shared some of the early indicators. That was from our STAR assessment, but Smarter Ballast as well. Our friends at the high school took their AP exams. We heard, that they were definitely tough, and AP exams are supposed to be tough, but we're confident that our team did prepare them and that our students will do well, and we're anxious to see those results. Assistant Superintendent Ferguson and I also attended the JROTC Awards ceremony, both out on the field and in our brand new auditorium. And that was a great, great ceremony to recognize our JROTC students. And we were honored to be there, and it was a wonderful, wonderful event. And as always, I would like to thank all of our team members, administrators, teachers, staff, students, for all they do each and every day, for their hard work, for their dedication, for their lesson plans, and for continuing to really just be part of the team and to work hard. And we know there's 1 month of school left, and we know that's going to continue on, but I would be remiss if I didn't take that moment to thank them. That is my report this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Does anyone have any questions, remarks?
Mr. Wilson, just in regards to the Juneteenth holiday, I understand this was a kind of a weird year where the snow days kept us a little bit longer, or will keep us a little bit longer. And I know we did take a vote 2 meetings ago to make that into an early dismissal day. I'm not sure about the rest of the board members here, but I voted with the intention for all staff to be able to take advantage of that 2-hour early dismissal. But since then, I've heard that our custodians and secretaries are not able to take advantage of that. I understand that's a contract issue, which is fine for this year, but I would like to take some action for next year to ensure that all of our staff is able to take advantage of the federal holiday, whether it be a day off or an early dismissal day.
Understood, and I do appreciate that, and I appreciate you sharing that. And yes, the timing, as we had shared, Mother Nature was definitely not kind to us, but I do think that with next year's calendar, and we always bring it about thereabouts in January or February-ish to make any changes necessary, I think that would be an appropriate change if the board's pleasure to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. We will next hear the Human Resources report. Take it away, Kim.
Thank you. So you have the first page of the report. You can see that currently our vacancies, as they should be at this time of year, for May are completely filled for our certified staff. We do have some remaining vacancies for our non-certified staff. However, I am extremely excited to report that thanks to the board's support, we have filled the athletic trainer position. So that is no longer on this vacancy list. And we do have someone hired, so we're very excited about that. The remainder of these positions will be filled really with substitutes for the remainder of the year because of how close we are to the end of the year. So for the next report, you'll kind of see what our vacancies look like for the 26-27 school year. Our substitute fill rates, this time of year, they do tend to be a little bit more challenging. People are, using their personal days and taking time off. So our fill rates are a little bit lower, but you can see that our year-to-date fill rates are still in the 80s, and our para fill rates are still in the 60s, which in both cases is about 20 points higher than they were at this time last year. For our absences, same as I said, it's typical around this year for it to be a little bit higher. But our teacher year-to-date absences are trending right around where they were at this time last year, and our para absences are about 3 points better than where they were at this time last year. So we are still seeing improvement. For our initiatives that we're working on, we are fully hiring for the 26-27 school year. So we've actually hired and onboarded a few new teachers already. So I will give you a kind of an update on that at our next meeting. I will be attending one more career fair hosted by the CEA in June. That's going to be in Milford, so we'll be able to get one last-ditch effort at a career fair to try to find some excellent candidates to join our team. For retention, we finished our office hours for May, which are always well-received at the schools. We have sent out our end-of-year survey. I send out an end-of-year survey to all of our first-year teachers just to find out how their year has been going, and we've been getting very positive results from the people that responded. And we are planning for new staff orientation, and we will be administering the Para Pathways exam to some of our paras who still need to take that exam at the end of the month. For wellness, our spring yoga was a great success, so thank you to Kyle O'Toole for doing that once again. We were very excited to bring that back this year. Our annual walking challenge is well underway. We're about halfway through, and the theme was backpacking through Europe. So if I remember correctly in my update this week, I think the teams are all in Italy now, and a few teams have made it into France. So that's kind of where our backpacking teams are. Moving into page 2, you can see again that, our fill rates, where we are in our comparison with the Torrington Public Schools employees. Our monthly percent to totals, you can see really it's the long-term absences and our daily sick absences that are kind of driving our absence numbers. And our staff turnover numbers are right in line with where they were right about this time last year. I'm happy to answer any questions on those 2 pages before I move to the 3rd page.
Any questions from the members of the board?
I just have one, Kim, real quick.
Sure.
Support staff, in April, we had 2 vacancies.
Yes.
And there's none listed in May. Does that mean those positions were filled?
Nope, so the athletic trainer was one of those, and that's filled, and the other one was the IT specialist, so I listed it separately, just so that you could see what that one position was. So the 2 in May were the athletic trainer and the IT specialist, and now we've filled one of those.
You filled one of them.
We filled the athletic trainer.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I will just say, with regard to the subfill rates, I've been on this board long enough to remember when a subfill rate in the mid-40s was considered good. So I just really want to commend you and the team for the work that has been done to get those subfill rates up. It makes a world of difference for the entire school district. So I just want to make sure that you are appropriately recognized for that, because these subfill rates, it has not just gone up 20%. It's gone up, it's doubled over the last few years. And I think that's really important.
Thank you. And it's a credit, it's a team effort, and we are looking at it every day, and I do believe that the buildings have felt it this year. I mean, certainly we'd love to be in the 90s, but, I definitely think it's been felt across the buildings this year.
Thank you. I don't think there was anything else, so take it away for the 3rd page.
Okay, so the 3rd page was a request from Ms. Saleo, had asked about a comparison for substitutes and whether or not moving them in-house versus using a third-party agency, which we had done an assessment a few years ago. So I just took the opportunity to update the numbers with our current numbers so that you can see the assessment. I won't go through every single line of this, but I'll just kind of give you the Cliff Notes version of where we come to this. So when we look at the shifts, we're looking at the average kind of our trend over the last few years, along with kind of our projections of where we'd like to be with like an 85% fill rate. So the shift number is just kind of like a compilation of all of those trends. And then we multiply that by the number of student days, giving us the number of shifts we need. So we figured out that calculation and then took our average rates that we currently pay for our substitutes to be able to come up with a number of how many subs we'd need and what that would cost us. When you look at the penalty for the Affordable Care Act, just without going into an extensive explanation, there's 2 components of the Affordable Care Act. There's affordability and accessibility. So accessibility would mean that we have to offer insurance to all of the subs that we hire to make sure that we're within the threshold of that, because that penalty is extremely expensive if we were ever to be charged with the penalty on that. The penalty for affordability is a little bit less per person, and you only pay per person instead of paying for your entire employees. So the number that you have here is like the maximum penalty if every single person was to get insurance at a lower cost than what we offer. So that's like the maximum possibility. We probably wouldn't actually get charged with that penalty, but that's just the maximum opportunity. So if you look down at the total, where it says grand total cost After that, I've added in, we would have to hire a full-time staff member to be able to do the job that currently our third-party service does for us on a daily basis. So they have staff members that are available at 5 a.m. to be able to kind of look at what our substitute fill rates are like and be able to try to start moving people into jobs when they can. So we would have to hire a full-time person in the office to be able to do that work. There would be a cost associated with benefits for that person. And also currently, as part of our partnership with ESS, they pay for our absence management system. So we would then have to pick up the cost for that subscription. So that's the last component, which brings us to a total anticipated cost. If you go down to the bottom, it talks about what our estimated costs are currently, again, based on our trends for our costs for ESS and what we are currently trending with our retiree subs. And if you look at that total cost, then the cost savings by using ESS is $377,741. And even if you were to assume that we didn't have any penalties under ACA, we would still be saving $224,000. So that's just kind of a high-level assessment of why it is beneficial for us to use an agency versus bringing it in-house.
Thank you. And I don't necessarily want to steal your thunder, but I have a quick question about this that you probably noticed as well. So your estimate, and I understand the basis of it and how it may fluctuate, but you're estimating, $944,000, $945,000 for teachers to bring it in-house, whereas you're estimating $928,000 or so. So it's not that big of a difference for teachers, but there's about a $250,000 difference for para educators. What do we think the basis of that is? I mean,
Probably because currently our fill rates are at about 82% for teachers. So when you look at our current cost projection versus our cost projection for paras, which is based on our current fill rates, like, again, when I look at those shifts and how I calculated those shifts, I'm calculating them based on our dream projection and what it would really be like if we were at 80% for paras. So because our current trends for teachers are probably a little closer to where we really want to be versus our para trend is still about 20% lower than where we want to be, that's probably why that looks that way.
So do you think if we were to achieve the para fill rate that we dream about from ESS, do you think that it would be similar to the teachers and that there's really a relatively slight cost difference between the two, not inclusive, of course, of the additional central
Yeah,
office staff?
probably similar. It probably is very similar. But then when you add in those other components that are really beneficial, because the other piece is the pieces that you can't capture in the salary, right? You can't capture the fact that if there's a performance issue, they handle all that for us. If, they are handling a lot of our day-to-day work. They're handling all that recruitment, all of those things, and we would have to then absorb all of that work.
Let's have one more. So how are our, I should know this, I really should, but I don't. How are our building subs currently, structured is the wrong word, but how do they fit into the framework when it comes to like being represented by a union or not, and kind of where they fall into full-time, part-time? How is that structured?
They're non-union, and what we have done in order to be, again, compliant with the Affordable Care Act is if we hire a building sub in-house and they work for us for 120 days, we then offer them benefits.
Okay, that's it for me. Did other folks want to raise some other matters?
Yeah, thank you for the information. I just had a couple questions.
Sure.
With the need for additional central office support and benefits and office management software, why would that be needed for building subs? Like, doesn't the secretary do that assigning now?
No, it would be the hiring and the recruitment and the onboarding, and then in addition, it wouldn't necessarily be only building subs because they would be responsible for the daily subs. We don't hire any daily subs in the district as our employees, other than our retiree subs, but we would have to then be responsible for all of that component. And we have a person that works for us directly for ESS that is in the buildings quite often, but even outside of being in the buildings is out in the community recruiting and then onboarding and doing all of those components. So the person would really have to be responsible for that.
So that's included in the price that we pay ESS?
Correct, yes.
And the ESS price, it's not broken down in your layout here. You said before it was 145 a day rate for subs?
So it's 145 a day for building subs, but it's 135 a day for the daily subs. So for the daily subs that kind of travel around per buildings, it's 135 a day that they're paid.
But what do we pay ESS? That's what I wanted to see broken down.
I don't have that contract in front of me, so I can get that for you at the next meeting. I believe it's a markup of 28%, but I don't know that for sure, so.
Yeah, that's what that's what I was interested in seeing, that comparison, because it's kind of comparing.
Well, yeah, there's definitely a markup, but again, the markup helps to cover the cost of their employee that works, for us, that's dedicated for us. They call it a client manager, and it covers the cost of any recruitment that they do, if they go and attend job fairs, whatever the fees are for that. So the markup kind of covers all of those other costs that are under the grand total cost. So,
Okay.
but I can get that information for you, the specifics, so that you have
Awesome.
that.
Thank
For
you.
sure, of course.
Yeah, I think that's important to know. So like, are they paying the subs the same amount that we pay?
Yes.
Right, so.
Yes, there's no inconsistency with that. We've always made sure that, whatever we're paying, they're paying.
Right, so if ESS is paying 135, I guess it is important to know what they're charging us, because we can kind of extrapolate from there.
We have that.
I mean, philosophically, I just believe that, if you're making a profit on something, then the taxpayer can probably achieve a savings on it. I guess we'd have to really dive even deeper than you already have. Don't start doing that now, but, if we were to try to go ahead to do that.
ESS is happy to come to a board meeting if you'd like me to invite them. They'd be willing to come and kind of present on, their journey with Torrington and what they've done, if you're interested in that, they've offered.
Yeah, I mean, that, I was there, but it's certainly something that some folks may be interested in who were not there when we hired them. But I don't know that they're going to come and let me go through their financials to figure out how much money they're making working for Torrington, which, hey, I don't fault them for doing that, right? They're providing a service and we pay the markup for that. I guess our question as we look to achieve savings over the next year and several years is how many contracted services can be brought in-house so that we can save the contractor's markup for the taxpayer, is kind of the idea. But more to come. I think we have to kind of discuss this as a board before we ask you to do any more labor. But thank you very much for this.
Okay.
Did anyone else have anything? Okay. So I'm looking at multiple different agendas. So we next have special education report.
Good evening. The numbers for the special education department for the month of May are in front of you. At this time right now, our special ed totals over the past month did increase by an additional 10 students. Our in-district K-12 students, we incurred an additional 4 students. Our in-district prevalence rate was reported at 17.7 last month. It is currently at 17.9%. And our in-district pre-K numbers have gone up from 92 students to 96, increasing by 4 students. We've remained the same in our in-district 18 to 22, our TTA Academy program at 13, and our continued outplacement for our 18 to 22-year-old students remained at 3. Our currently outplaced by PPT K-12 students did go up by 2 from 67 to 69 students. Our agency placed through DCF or court is down by 1 student. Our magnet parent choice and our VOAG programs are up by 1 student. And our overall numbers for our 504 students is up by an additional 6 students this month.
Questions, comments, remarks from members of the board? Mr. Putnam, I saw your hand first.
Just have 2 quick questions. When if a student exits special ed at their IEP or their PPT time, when does that reflect on your spreadsheet? Is that a end of the school year as they exit, or also graduations? If somebody graduates or leaves the district, when does that show up?
It shows up in these board reports will be pulled monthly from CT SEDS. So you'll see that within a month's time. However, it is reported daily within our state system. That happens as an overnight upload.
Okay, so as you conduct these PPTs at the end, as traditionally happens at the end of a school year, those are reflected for the following month. It's not when their services would end necessarily.
Exactly,
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Mr. Kiska.
On the other end of the spectrum, we are required to identify a group that we would call talented and gifted students. State doesn't require us to actually do anything for them. But could you next month come in with the numbers of kids we have identified as eligible for if we provide them services?
Absolutely, because
Thank
that's
you.
an outstanding program. I will.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Knight.
You said in your report that the number of special education students had risen by 10 students. Well, I'm wondering why such an increase towards the end of the school year.
So I think it's a multitude of components, but I think the first bucket is number one, we go through the actual PPT process. So students who are in tier 3 begin to move through that process typically about January to February. So this is really when we do begin to see that influx and increase. I think the second major component where we're seeing large influx is we have a lot of students who are moving into district, but they're moving into district with IEPs. And legally, we're mandated to pick up those services within 1 day's time frame in order to support those students. So there's a couple of different components at play as to why you'll see the increase. I will tell you, we comparatively look at these numbers weekly, and in our weekly analysis, I'm seeing that just across the state, everybody is seeing an increase in their numbers due to similar reasons that we are.
Anyone else?
I don't know if it's relevant or not, but would it be too much trouble to put a year-to-date total on there where we started the year and where we're ending up instead of just month to month? Because special education can be really a budget buster. I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
curious
absolutely. I
where we
can come
were.
up with something in terms of a year-to-date. I'll tell you, I think overall, right now, off the top of my head, we're up about 43 students since the beginning of the school year. That does fluctuate, and I'm imagining the reason we use the monthly analysis was because there are plenty of times where students are removed from the list and other students are put on. But I will give you where we stood in September as an overall number and then give you where we are. But currently, it's at about 45 new students.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. We next have the Office of Teaching and Learning.
Yes, hi, everybody. So state testing is wrapping up due to the many winter storms and the weather cancellations that we had this year. The state has extended the testing window to June 5th, so next Friday. So we're just finishing that process. As the preliminary testing data come in, because what's different over the past 2 years is that the data comes in a rolling type of a fashion. We are not allowed to share test scores. We don't have our final test scores until late August. However, we do get kind of a first blush look at things. So as those numbers start coming in, OTL is taking a good look at them in order to help inform our summer school programming and our August professional learning sessions. So planning for summer school learning is wrapping up. We're doing 5 days a week this year instead of 4, so that's new. We will be running our program from July 13th to July 31. The reason for the delay in the start is because we're going to school almost until the end of June. We figured everybody needed a little bit of a break before we started summer learning. So we're in the process of refining the curricula for that programming. We want to make it as productive and supportive as we can. The K-6 program is designed to support reading and numeracy skills. 7 through 8 is to help students gain the skills they did not fully master in their core courses. And 9 to 12 is as traditional credit recovery. We're also in the process right now of selecting next year's District Teacher and Paraeducator of the Year. Building-based candidates have been chosen. These folks are going to be soon participating in a district-level interview process, which will determine who moves forward to represent the district at the state level. I'd like to personally thank everyone who took the time to nominate and congratulate all the very deserving staff who have received this honor from their colleagues. Once the process is wrapped up, the superintendent will visit the schools to announce the final decision. And some real fun things to share, something very fun to share. Last week, we were very honored to welcome a team from Ed Week. So Education Week is a news publication, covers K-12 education since the early 80s, so 1981-ish. So they came along with, it was coordinated through the Connecticut Education Association. They came to Torrington, and they were working on a feature article to explore the importance of play in kindergarten. Their team spent the morning visiting Karen Manjean's kindergarten classroom up at Torringford. They observed students, they spoke with educators, really tried to capture the authentic learning experiences that take place in our classrooms every day. So this opportunity provided an important moment for reflection. Over time, kindergarten in many places across the country has shifted away from what was once recognized as developmentally appropriate practice. In our collective urgency to accelerate academic achievement, however, we've gradually transformed kindergarten into a much more formal academic environment, often expecting young children to sit longer, produce more, master skills earlier than ever before, and really earlier than they're able to. While these changes were made with good intention, growing research and experience continues to remind us that young children learn best through exploration, movement, social interaction, creativity, and play. Play is not separate from learning for young children. Play is learning for young children. We're very proud that our kindergarten classrooms reflect this understanding and that Ed Week chose us. So we don't know when that article will run, but Sandy's going to make sure that when we find out, we can share with the board, and we will make sure you all get copies.
Fabulous, thank you. Does anyone have any questions, comments, remarks, considerations? Thank you. We have the liaison reports in our packets. They are available online for the public to view as well. That being said, do any building administrators or our ed advance person have anything to add? Now is the time. Okay. Then we are at the monthly financials. Donna, do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Sure thing. Good evening, everybody. Everybody received the packet of the finances up to April 30th, 2026 in the packet. Begins on page 14. And we are in great shape. We're approximately, 83% through the fiscal year and about the same percentage through our budget, including the encumbrances. And we are, I'm open to any questions if anybody has any.
Questions, remarks, considerations? Do we have a sense of where we might be landing? I know it's still slightly early, but I think this is relevant to the process as we consider whether or not we can prepay for licenses, et cetera, and how much we may be able to sock away for next year.
Sure. So we did ask all the sites to have all their POs closed out by next Friday. So I think we'll have a better idea of where we're going to land after that happens. But as I said, just going along, it does look like we're lining up to end in a good place. I can't say specifically at this point until we get those closeout numbers.
Great. Thank you. Last call. Okay, then I will entertain a motion to approve the monthly financials. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, made by Mr. Knight, seconded by Mr. Putnam. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Those are approved. We next have committee reports. starting with Mr. Kisco.
We have already heard a lot about the May 6th meeting of the Artificial Intelligence Committee. It was on the front page of the newspaper, for instance, and Facebook covered it very well, although the comments got off track a little bit. But, and even the Pope had something to say about AI. I would advise anyone who's interested, who wasn't there, should watch that meeting, because, you know, like the story about the people with the elephant, you know, this one's got the trunk and it feels like this, the other one's got the tail, and see what individually any of you get out of that if you weren't there, because everybody had a different takeaway about that. Our next AI event will be half an hour before. Oh, Sue, would you please talk about that a little bit? The AI, the presentation before the next board meeting, the half hour before the next board meeting.
Oh, right. We're going to have a presentation before the next board meeting. Rachel? Rachel's going to talk about that. That's the light speed.
Okay.
Yes, hello. So we asked Lightspeed to come and do a little demo basically on Lightspeed Classroom and the tools that the staff have when it comes to monitoring the students while in their classroom. So I think it'll be, you know, maybe a nice little refresher for the teachers, as well as give you guys an insight as to what they can see, what they can control, and things of that sort.
And thank you, Sue and Rachel, for setting that up.
No problem.
Questions? Comments?
Okay.
I'm done.
Thank you, Mr. Kisco. Does anyone want to report on the, I have a sense that it might have been a long one.
Well, the comment is going to be very brief. I think I can sum it up very quickly by saying that we had a lively discussion, and Kim, feel free to jump in, a lively discussion about screen time in the classrooms. And we also looked at the facilities use policy. Both of those policies need to come back to the policy meeting next week for further discussion.
Great. Anyone have anything? While we're on the topic of policy, I have been turning over an idea, because we do have, it's come up in public comment and in our discussions where, with the wellness committee that exists in policy. I would love to discuss the idea of maybe expanding that to be a more forward-facing, outward-facing committee, because I think as the board has turned its attention, especially to physical fitness and the students' wellness, and as it continues to swirl around the community, it would probably be worth it to restructure that committee so that we can give some structure to the discussions that are happening here, and that way the results can be in a sort of directed way. So just something to consider that I've been turning over in my head. This is the first time I have discussed this with anybody. No behind-the-scenes conversations about this one. So I just want to give that to everybody to chew over, and we can sort of move it forward at a later time. Anyone else have anything related to the policy committee?
And that's really policy, but it's this AI subcommittee. We basically, right now, it's an ad hoc committee for a committee to form a committee. Is that correct? Is that what we're doing?
I think that was the way we characterized it to begin with. I think as things are shaping up, it looks like we're just going to give policy its job to write policy, and the ad hoc committee will stay together to look at the teaching, learning parts of AI. So the board will have its input as far as wanting to, as some might put it, control this beast. Teachers will also have a chance to explain what's going to make it work for them and their students. That's the way I'm looking at it.
So we're charging forward. This is like going to policy pretty soon, because we really have 2 meetings left before September.
And we have a whole year next year. No, I'm assuming that policy committee will be taking this, starting, if it wants, next week.
Yeah, I think the idea was to have a sort of internal committee, because that allows us to place multiple staff and faculty members for their input, right? But then, yeah, we will need to go through the board's more formal process, wherein we will be able to hear public comment at multiple meetings and bring in that public-facing scrutiny, frankly, on the issue before the board ultimately issues or elects not to issue a policy. And while the goal would be to do this before the start of the next school year, I think, this is just my personal opinion, it's better to be slow and get it right than to rush to something that we are going to have to fix when, if it's problematic. So we still want to get this done before the next school year, but if we have to go a little while longer to do it the right way, I think that would probably be better. Okay, that was a long discussion on the policy committee. Anyone else? Facilities and technology, that's you, my friend. Mr. Berger. Facilities, no, wait, is it? Yeah, because Patrick's, oh, no. Sorry, that's right, Mr. Cronin's not here, but if Jeff wants to do it, you can instead.
Sure, I'll cover for Mr. Cronin. The meeting was our standard technology and facilities update. We covered some of the normal social media things. And then most of the items on the facility agenda from that meeting are actually action items tonight. We talked about, we got a quick update on the roof. We're still waiting for the state on their approval after our referendum for the TMS roof. We're waiting for just some answers tonight on the chiller. We have a chiller stuff going out for Torrington Ford. There was some alarm system stuff, just a bunch of different items and some capital requests, which we'll talk about a little bit later tonight. Otherwise, a standard facility and technology meeting.
If no one has any questions or remarks, Mr. Putnam can continue right through the Budget Committee's report.
Sure. We had our budget meeting this past month. It was a pretty quick one, actually. We went over the monthly financials, and as our Director of Finance indicated, everything was on target. We're looking good towards the end of the year. We need a little bit more time to understand exactly where we're going to land for the year, but so long as there's no unexpected last-minute expenses, everything looked to be in good shape to end the year in a good spot. And we did a review of all the Torrington High School student activity accounts, went through all of those, and everything looked good.
Fabulous. Any questions, comments, remarks for the Budget Committee? Mr. Kalesha. Oh, you're just taking, all right, you're getting ready for the next one. All right, well, then take it away. Tell us a little bit about the Building Committee.
All right, so yeah, it was a good meeting. Most of the inside work is pretty much done. There's a couple odds and ends that they're gonna finish off when school is out. The roof has been approved by the manufacturer, so the warranty is going to be starting very soon. Silktown is still on the hook for the cleaning until then. So, the reports on the bounce tests for the basketball court, most of them were acceptable except one, which is going to be addressed. And a lot of the outside work for the baseball fields is done. Actually, all of it's done except the dugouts. Those are going to be done with the softball fields. And then a lot of the work for the drainage in the softball fields is underway as well. So, and lastly, kind of a larger discussion was the landscaping. I know that's kind of, there was a large discussion on that. Not thrilled with the work that's been done thus far, but they are rectifying that currently. So there's going to be additional meetings on that to come. Try to get a better resolution. So.
Great, thank you. Anyone have any questions or remarks? Okay. We next have the Board of Education's minutes. So unless there are amendments or corrections to the minutes, I will hear a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from April 22nd.
So moved.
Is there seconded by Mr. Knight? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Okay, those are approved. I will next hear a motion, provided there are no amendments or corrections, to approve the special meeting minutes for the following: April 10th, April 21st, 2 meetings on April 23rd, 1 on April 27th, 1 on April, 2, excuse me, on April 28th. Is there a motion for those minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Those are approved as well. Provided there is no objection, I would hear a motion to receive the subcommittee meeting minutes for Facilities and Technology, April 8th and April 22nd, Budget, April 8th, School Improvement, March 4th, and Policy, April 1st.
So moved.
Is there, seconded by Mr. Knight. Any further discussion, amendments, corrections, et cetera? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Those are done. We next have discussion and appointment of Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment. Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, I will start it off, and then I will turn it over to Kim. We're very, very happy, and I know the board had the opportunity to meet with Scott this evening, and I know he welcomed that opportunity and went through a grueling process to get us all the way here where we are this evening, but we're very happy that he stuck through and stuck with the process, and obviously is the chosen candidate, and we're very happy. He brings a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and I know he's anxious to get started, and he's got some big shoes to fill, but I think he's ready to jump in and to get started. So Kim, if you want to give some highlights.
Absolutely. So tonight is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Scott Godet as the recommended candidate for Assistant Superintendent. Mr. Godet brings more than 30 years of experience in public education and a distinguished record of leadership, service, and commitment to students, staff, and school communities. Throughout his career in Bristol Public Schools, he has served as a teacher, a gifted and talented coordinator, assistant principal, and for more than 2 decades as a school principal, currently leading Green Hills K-8 school. Mr. Godet holds a bachelor's degree in elementary education from Stonehill College, a Master of Science in Special Education, and advanced certification for superintendent of schools from Central Connecticut State University, and a 6th-year degree in educational leadership from Sacred Heart University. Beyond his extensive experience, he is widely recognized as a collaborative leader who builds strong relationships, values continuous improvement, and creates positive school cultures where both students and staff thrive. Under his leadership, Green Hills was recognized as the 2022 Connecticut Association of Schools Middle School of the Year and received the Exemplary School Climate Practices Award. Mr. Godet himself was also honored as the 2020 Connecticut PTA Outstanding K-8 Principal, reflecting his longstanding commitment to school culture, student success, and community partnerships. We're excited about the leadership, vision, and depth of experience he brings to Torrington, and we're confident he'll be a tremendous asset to our district and community. And I agree, you've got some big shoes to fill, though, from Mrs. Ferguson. But I would like to introduce and welcome Mr. Godet.
Thank you all and welcome aboard. So are you looking at this time? I was going to say, that's what I thought might be the case. So in that case, I will hear a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second? Anyone? Someone? Thank you. Any discussion, bearing in mind that the only discussion can be to remove an item? Okay.
Remove or add an item?
Yes.
What happened to the person that we spoke, that I was talking about earlier, Kim? Should that be on here or the next one?
Are you talking about the athletic trainer?
Yeah, I don't see it.
Only certified individuals with the Connecticut State Department of Education certification go on this.
there? Okay.
So,
Good. In that case, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Okay, that is done. New information and action. Let's hear about some field trips.
We have some wonderful students and staff members to talk about them.
Okay. Hi again, Caitlin Riggs, FCCLA advisor and FCS teacher. So we have 2 big field trips that we have proposed that deal with the FCCLA. One is, as I announced earlier, for the accomplishment, it is the national competition that takes place in July. It runs from July 5th to July 10th. It is the 3 seniors who competed. Unfortunately, it will only be 2 of them because one of them is traveling abroad. So 2 of them will be moving forward to compete at the national level. And then the second trip will be for the actual upcoming school year for the 26-27. We're just trying to get the ball rolling on it, though. This will be for our new incoming chapter officers. And it is a leadership conference that will be in Orlando. Our FCCLA chapter is very new. We had it established the year prior to when I started. However, they weren't able to really move forward and do any activities. So our amazing group of seniors that was running it this year, they really picked it up and ran with it as best as they could. However, they didn't have any formal training with it. As for myself as well, I attended the advisor training in January, which was fabulous. So I wanted our new incoming officers to take that on because they are all sophomores, right, Emma? They're all sophomores, so they will be able to continue this for the year after as well, as long as they're elected, which I don't see any problem. So the conference in DC is coming up very quickly, as it is July 5th, so we have already got all of it approved, reached out and requested funds from local organizations. The Lions Club has already made a donation. We've reached out to the Rotary Club, to the to Unico, to Torrington Credit Union. It's a very long list. I actually brought it just in case you're wondering. To ONG, we did a fundraiser at Moe's. We've done one at Chick-fil-A. We did butter braids. We have a whole bunch of things going on. So we've already raised, we have over $2,000 towards it. But both of the trips, oddly, are actually about the same price. One is, the DC trip is $8,300 and the fall conference is $8,800. With the DC trip, it just keeps kind of climbing every day because of the flights. Unfortunately, we're getting really close. But we have enough to pay for the conference fee and the flights right now for that. And we will be quick to raise the rest of it in no time, as long as everything's approved. I just wanted to make sure we were good to go before we really pressed hard on everybody, so. Any questions?
So the $8,300, how many students are going for the Washington trip?
For the DC trip, it will be 2 of the 3 seniors that were recognized tonight, and then myself.
Okay.
We have to have 2 rooms. Yeah, it's unfortunately, it's the 4th of July, 250th anniversary. So the hotel itself is almost $6,000 for the 2 rooms.
Right.
So, and it is an extensive stay. It's the 5th to the 10th, so it is a pretty big chunk.
And this is mostly for the benefit, for your benefit as people watch this video back. How much more money do you need?
For the national conference, they still need about $6,000.
All right. I have absolute faith that the community will come through. If I had $6,000, I would help you. Anyone else have anything for the field trips? Great. Thank you all. I will hear a motion. They are listed as one entity and one item, excuse me, and for the same entity. So I will hear a motion if there is one to approve both field trips.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Your field trips are approved. Thank you all. We next have the 313 account capital reserve request. I believe this was discussed in facilities, right? I've lost where I am in the packet, but if you want to tell us just briefly the history here.
Absolutely. I think the history behind the 313, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Labby shortly after, is that we've changed so many times. There's been several iterations, and those iterations are provided in the packet this evening so that the board can see what was previously decided and now where we have landed with the amount of money left in the 313 account. And it is our request that the board review the most recent 313 capital request letter that is in the packet this evening, and I will sign and gladly send down to the city. But that is where we are with all of the latest information and all of the different things that have come across.
Thank you. And like the superintendent said, this is needed for the city to go ahead with the roof project stuff on their end. So they asked for it a little while ago. I told them it was a substantive change relative to the last time the board voted on this. So we wanted to run it past the Board of Education. But this is largely in line with the discussion we had with the city side about how much we could swing out of this account versus what we needed. The major substantive change is, the 500,000, I think, is very slightly higher or lower than the initial amount discussed. And then after we got the grant for the chiller, we were able to move some money for the elevator replacement, which we also regard as essential for disability access. Does anyone have questions, comments, discussion? Yeah, go ahead.
I had not seen this one prior to the packet, but, so this utility vehicle for turf, Mr. Burkle, is that the one that we were talking about in the facility meeting last couple weeks ago?
Yes.
And the scoreboard. And then I don't see, are we still planning, once we get back the Torrington Ford chiller quotes, to look at the TIS stuff? Because that's not on this one anymore.
No, thank you for shouting that out. So the problem is the Vogel-Wetmore elevator is in very bad condition and needs to be replaced. So we are going to have to seek some other funds, I think, for the TIS playground, although I'm not giving up on it because I think we all agreed that it was a worthy project. But tell me if I'm wrong. My understanding is that this elevator really has to be replaced at this point. There's no way around it.
That's correct. Mr. Pergola and his team and the company have done all that they can. I mean, it's unfortunate. It is an older unit, obviously, and it is the parts, and Mr. Pergola can jump in at any moment. The parts are getting more and more difficult to obtain, and our fear, and we've had it, unfortunately, where if it goes down and we have students or staff with disabilities for that matter, that we are out of compliance. So we know that that is a priority, and like everything else on the list from capital, as Mr. Pergola has shared, is a priority, but this one is one that we cannot risk in order for accessibility purposes.
I will just add that the conversation we're going to have in a short while about the state's supplemental education funding, if that plays out the way I anticipate, we should have a little bit more flexibility with the money that we have in our carryover account. I reasonably believe that we will still be able to pay for a playground at the intermediate school, just it'll have to come out of a different account. Anyone else? Okay. No further discussion. I will hear a motion to approve the 313 capital reserve request. I guess it's an amendment to the original request, and to authorize the superintendent to transmit it to the city. I need somebody to say so moved, and somebody to say second. Thank you. All those, or any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That carries, and we are on to the Vogel-Wetmore Playground, my understanding of which is that that is a grant-funded item.
That is correct, and I'll have Donna and Dean speak to that.
Okay, so this is for the Vogel Playground, and there were some changes that are made in this contract that were hopefully to go out to bid tomorrow. One of the requests was to have a mandatory pre-bid, which is included in here. So that's where we're at with Torrington, or Vogel-Wetmore Playground.
Great, and this was reviewed by the Facilities Committee, I believe, right? That's
correct.
Okay.
Yep, with that one change to happen, and it did.
Anyone have discussion, questions, remarks? If not, you are seeking, what, an approval of the bid packet, right? So that you can go out and solicit bids? Okay.
Yep.
So I will hear a motion to that effect. Is there a second? Made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? All right, so you guys are good to go with that. And we next have the Torrington chiller request for quotes. Tell us a little bit about that.
Again, this is for the chiller up at Torrington, so this is going to be a fast-tracked bid process. I will plug the dates in tomorrow once you guys approve it.
to get this hopefully up and running before the beginning of next school year. And this again was approved by the facilities board.
Fabulous. Any questions, considerations, discussion? Hearing none, I will hear a motion to approve the RFQ for the Torrington chiller. Is there a second? Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? All right, you guys are good to go with that one. And no, I thought it was going to be last for you, Dean, but you have two more. So next is the gym floor contract for THS.
Yes, hang on, I'm still scrolling here. Okay, yeah, so this was, again, spoken to the board the other night. They're going to extend the warranty on our floor for 1 year, and they're also going to do the yearly required, I guess, screen and recoat, I can call it, on the gym floors, both middle school and high school.
Okay, so this is the maintenance contract, right?
Yeah, this is
Sorry,
a 1 year, again, to extend the warranty and to also do the maintenance this year for this.
Okay, great. Any questions other than my dumb one because I wasn't paying attention? Okay, hearing none, I will hear a motion to approve the contract as presented. Is there a second? Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, abstentions? Okay, that's done. We next have the Soundworks proposal.
So the Soundworks proposal was for the schools that we did this past fall at an emergency basis. Our other system went down. This is for, this is going to extend the 90-day warranty to 1 year and also have a service agreement and annual tests and inspections. At the facilities meeting, we had some questions. I reached out to the vendor who sent me this email breaking it down how it will take place after the 1 year, which is extended warranty. So again, just looking to see approval for this.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion?
The 1 year period would be October of 2026.
Yes, the 1 year period would be this year's extended warranty. So it came with a 90-day warranty, and they're going to extend it to 1 year from the date of installation. After that date, depending on what school it is, it's broken down with the agreement date. That's when the 1 year addition adds on to it.
Someone's got to help me out here. I'm a little lost. So the original, what are we approving?
You're approving the annual test and inspection and the service agreement.
So if I could.
But that was included in the original amount, according to this.
The original bid was a 90-day, and he's going to extend it to 1 year with this.
So it's saying 133 monthly, 4197 monthly. Description of equipment and services, monitoring services, repair service. The repair service was included in the original amount that we paid in October. And it's a monthly fee. So did we pay for, so excuse my ignorance, but does this lump sum to me reads as they included 1 year of the repair service plan, a maintenance agreement, and the monitoring? Inspection and test.
They extended it from a 90-day to a 1 year from the date of installation.
Okay.
Okay, and then the service agreement to service these, which it shows, covers the alarm equipment, keypads, control, power supplies, motion sensors, all of those things, will be after that 1 year is up. And the same thing with the annual test and alarm.
So if I could jump in, Mr. Berger, for a second, a quick summary of what we talked about. So in this contract, notice the check boxes for those particular items weren't checked. I'd asked this question in the last meeting. So that contract appeared to include as you mentioned, the total amount with the monitoring, but the test and inspect and extended warranty weren't checked on the contract, they're just highlighted with dollars amounts in them. So at our last meeting, we had talked about doing the test and inspect at the 1-year mark. It was like $500 per year per site. And then, Mr. Klesher, correct me if I'm wrong, I believed we said we would talk about the extended warranty at the end of the 1-year period, but I don't recall having said we planned on signing that part of it today, but I could be wrong, Mr. Klesher.
That's how I remember it as well.
So I still need some clarification. So on the top, I can see what you're saying, it's not checked on the bottom. The repair service plan, $133.33 per month. That's repair service. Up on top in section number 2, it is checked. So was it included in the original purchase price in October? Or are we paying what?
That could be the first year's worth of it, Mr. Berger, because it's got a 1-year warranty. So I wonder if that first part, that checkbox is, I'm not certain.
It's a monthly fee. It's $1,600. Was that $1,600 included in the price because the box is checked on the top? Or was it not included in price because the box is not checked under section 4B? Section 2.
Is it like that on all the sites? I didn't go look.
I don't know, I'm just using the first one as an example. I mean, it's not a whole lot of money, I'm just wondering if we already paid for the first year, the $1,600, inside the $16,500 for the first year for their repair service.
I believe the proposal that Mr. Pergola is asking is to do that extended warranty at the conclusion of the 1-year warranty period. So starting October 2026 and moving
Do we
forward.
vote on this now, or do we vote on this next? Are we paying something now?
No. So I was under the same impression, but we put it in the packet because it made it to this, it made it to the agenda. So we did not bring it to the table to vote, I'm guessing. Or we didn't plan on it, but I did put the information in this packet. So if this is something we want to discuss during facilities again, is what you're asking?
No, so there's no action item on this, this is just for kind of FYI.
Correct. At this point, I don't think there was at the facilities meeting to bring it for an action item right here tonight. But it was in the packet, so I wasn't clear on that, so I wanted to include the information that I gathered.
Okay.
This work's already been completed. So I believe they were bringing it to us to approve if we know that there's additional items and to give us the dollar amounts for the ongoing monitoring. So the monitoring, they're obviously doing that, it's a small dollar amount. The other ones were for future consideration.
Well, do we owe them something to extend it from 90 days to the 1 year?
That wasn't my impression.
If you sign this, they will extend it from 90 days to 1 year, part of this agreement.
Okay, so they're 90 days, October, November, December, January, so we're already past the 90 days.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, so
I'm
what
following you here now,
happens
Mr.
if
Berger.
we punt this?
If we punt it and something happens, we pay out of pocket instead of under the service warranty.
Okay. Do we feel like the risk of that is high? Because it sounds like there's some consternation among the group, and it may be worth a second discussion so that people can have their questions and concerns clarified. So do we feel like there's substantial risk of an alarm problem in the next 30 days, or do you think we can skate by here?
You never know. So I don't want to say there's not going to be a risk, but my question is there anything that we can clear up tonight? Mr. Berger, do you understand where this is falling, or Mr. Kolesha, or is there still questions? It's up to you guys.
I'm just confused whether it's the $133.33 per month was included in the base price, because in section 2, it says repair service, the box is checked, to me indicating it's included. But down below, for the same thing, repair service plan, $133.33 per month, section 4B, subsection 2, it's not checked.
So what Mr. Berger is really asking, I think, tell me if I'm wrong, is there an associated additional cost for with signing this document tonight? If so, what is it? Is that a fair representation of what you're actually asking?
Yeah, well, did we already pay for it or not? I mean,
If, again, if it's not a 1 year, it's a 90-day, and I think the 90-day is up.
Right,
So-
what he's actually asking though, right, so we've already had work done, we had a signed agreement, it was inclusive of a 90-day service and warranty agreement. Now they're saying, well, we'll extend you to a year, but I assume that Soundworks is not doing this out of some great love for Torrington Public Schools and that there is an additional cost related, or are they just doing this? And if we aren't 100% certain right now, then we should go back to the committee.
Okay.
Yeah, I recall at the last meeting, similar to Mr. Colegia and Mr. Putnam, but I think where Dean was, and I thought where the committee landed, they wanted him to make sure that out of the 90-day warranty, we could still piggyback and get the deal that Soundworks was offering. And I believe that's why Mr. Pergola put all of this information in place. If there's still question to Mr. Berger's point about, box 2, because I read that a little differently too. I do see underneath that as well that it's a flat fee for the month, which would, in my opinion, render it as a service plan as opposed to a per unit fix. So I believe that's what's covered under that. But if that's the clarity that the board is looking for, I believe that's easy enough to do at the next facility subcommittee. But I do believe that, and I'm certainly not speaking for Mr. Pergola, but I believe that that's why this was brought forward, to make sure that there was no lapse in terms of, since Soundworks was willing to do it, and because we had the plan for the 90, to extend it a year. So I think it encompasses what several board members said, but if that's the clarity question, which I believe I'm understanding Mr. Berger correctly, I think that's easy enough to clarify, as well as I know Mr. Pergola already has a per school breakdown, which was asked by members of the facility subcommittee that Mr. Pergola provided. So I think that, to your point, Mr. Corey, if it wants to go back to the facility subcommittee just to clear up those 2 points, then I think that would be worth it. And I believe that meeting is in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And then we could be brought back to the full board in June.
so one last question. I'll really nickel and dime here now, and Lee can be mad at me next time we golf. But, but this is an annual cost. Are we extending it 9 months or for a year?
So that was the question, I believe, that was the question originally at that meeting, and I think that's the question, that answer that Mr. Pergola got, it would be extended that year from that time.
So it would really be extending it from January 1 to Jan.
I believe, and I don't
January
want to speak for Mr. Pergola, but I think that was the question, and that was the answer that he received from Soundworks.
If I could add, Mr. Berger, I think the confusion here is the Facilities Committee understood this to be a 1-year warranty, and the differentiation here is that now it's being said it's a 90-day warranty, and they will extend it to 1 year if we assign an extended service agreement that we wouldn't have to start paying for until October of 2026. That's where your and my disconnect is. We all thought it was a 1-year warranty, and we're learning tonight that it was a 90-day warranty, which is where some of this confusion's coming from.
Okay. I mean, yeah, pay the guy what he's due, but we don't want to.
So it's really an upsell, which is the actual answer to the question that we were talking about 10 minutes ago, which is that they are upselling us and there is an associated cost. And I'm so glad that we finally got there. And I will be so much happier when the Facilities Committee discusses this at length at its next meeting and comes back to us with some clarity. So with that, we are going to skip over that. I will not call that one for a motion, and we will discuss the letter of support request from the city. I'll take this one. So this is a request from the mayor's office related to the U.S. Department of Transportation's Safe Streets for All grant. The city is pursuing some of those funds for the intersection at Major Bessie Drive. What this grant is focused on is largely infrastructure upgrades surrounding safety, in our case, particularly for pedestrians and cyclists. We have lots of kids who walk to school and cross the street at that intersection. So the city is seeking our support to give their grant request a little extra heft. I think it's a worthy cause. There is a letter in the packet. There are multiple intersections, I guess, overall that they're seeking, including Winthrop, Major Bessie, Winthrop and Dalton, Winthrop and East Elm. They're going to include some analyses of our bus routes as well. But the major thing for us, of course, is the intersection between Winthrop and Major Bessie. So for what it's worth, I would strongly recommend that the board approve it. This letter was sent to us by them, by the city, so, right?
William Wallach, yes.
Right, so this is the language that they are seeking. I have no problem with it. I'm happy to sign it on the board's behalf. But first, I need you to vote for it. Does anyone have any questions or discussion? Okay, hearing none, I will hear a motion to, I suppose, authorize the chair of the board to sign the draft letter as presented in support of the Safe Streets for All grant application.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? All right, that's done. We now have, where did we add the last, we added the third executive session after the other two, right? Okay. All right, so then we first have an executive session regarding the non-union contracts, inviting in Mr. Wilson and Ms. Schulte. Is there a motion? Is there a second? All those in favor? Any opposed? We are in executive session at 7:51. Okay, we are back in open session at 8:11, just so that I can hear a motion to enter into an executive session regarding settlement discussions in Masters v. Torrington Board of Education, inviting in the superintendent, Kim Schulte, and attorney Joanna Zillman.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're in executive session at 8:11. Okay, we are in open session at 8:19. I got to find where I wrote this down. So I will hear a motion to enter executive session to discuss an attorney-client privilege communication related to a legal analysis regarding the state's supplemental education aid and Dracula accounts Dracula accounts. Is there such a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? We are in executive session at 8:20. Oh, we're inviting in the superintendent, and that's it.
Who made that motion?
Yeah, I think it was Jeff and Glenn. Yeah. Okay, we are back in open session at 8:33 PM. The way we did this, we actually put the last executive session's result before the others, as I recall. So we have next, I will hear a motion to authorize the chair of the board to work with legal counsel to draft a letter to the city regarding an attorney-client privilege communication related to a legal analysis regarding the state's supplemental education aid and Dracula accounts.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that carries. So we next have a possible action regarding the non-union contract. So I will, at this time, hear a motion to approve those contracts as presented, if there is one.
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that carries. And we last have possible action regarding settlement discussions in Masters v. Torrington Board of Education. So I will hear a motion to authorize the superintendent and attorney, Joanna Zollman, to execute a settlement agreement as discussed.
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? I only heard one aye, actually. I need at least a couple more. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that carries. We have items for the upcoming agenda. We will no doubt hear about SoundWorks. We will, by that time, have a final number budget-wise from the city of Torrington. So we'll have to have a lengthy budget discussion. Anyone else have anything they want to add to the agenda?
Is the Wellness Committee more policy?
Yeah, so the Wellness Committee exists per the policy in accordance with federal law, but we regard it as an internal committee right now. So it does exist. My pitch would be for the policy committee to amend that policy so that it becomes a little bit more of a public-facing committee. So it would still retain the internal structure, but perhaps add a board member or two, a community member or parent or two, so that it's something that is more noticeable in the school community than it may be now. But that would require the policy committee to make an amendment.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. We have future meetings. They are all on the agenda and they are available to the public. Any comments for the good of the order? It's late. I'm not going to call on everyone by name. Great. In that case, I will hear a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All those in favor? Any opposed? We are adjourned at 8:36. Thank you.